Welcome back, students of class 11th Geography. In yet another presentation, which is based on Book 2, this is Chapter 5 Natural Vegetation of India. It is a presentation prepared by me, Mukuldhar Mishra, Puranchand Vidyaniketan, Kanpur. First of all, let us discuss what is the definition of natural vegetation. The natural vegetation, when is defined, the definition can be something like this. Natural vegetation refers to a plant that has been left undisturbed over a long period of time so as to allow its individual species to adjust themselves to climate and soil conditions as fully as possible. According to this definition, when we divide the natural vegetation, there are six types of natural vegetation that are found all over the world and in our country also. The first is tropical evergreen forest, semi-evergreen forest, tropical deciduous forest. The fourth one is the tropical thorn forest. Fifth one, mountain type of forest, and sixth type of forests are called the littoral forests. Let's take a look of the natural vegetation map of our country. In this map, you can see very properly all sort of vegetation are shown. Simultaneously, the percentage of land area is also shown to you, which is found in our country according to all types of forests. Let us discuss the characteristics of the first type of forest, that is tropical evergreen forest. They are found in Western Ghats, northeastern states of India, Andaman and Nicobar. They are found in the areas of annual precipitation of 200 centimeters and average annual temperature of 22 degrees centigrade. Shrubs, creepers, tall trees are found in these forests. The major type of trees that are found are rosewood, mahogany, annie, ebony. Let's have a look of semi-evergreen type of forest characteristics. These are found in the southern states of India like Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, etc. These are the trees that shed their leaves for a short period of time, although there is no definite time for it. These have been mostly cleared by the Britishers for the cultivation of rubber, coffee, and tea. The moist deciduous forests, they are also called monsoon forests and most widespread in India. They are also divided into two types of moist and dry deciduous ones. They are found in northeastern states, foothills of Himalayas, eastern slopes of Western Ghats, Odisha. The annual precipitation in these areas remains 100 to 200 centimeters, and major trees are semal, teak, sal, hura, mahua, amla, shisham, etc. Let us see the characteristics of dry deciduous forests. They are found mostly in the rainier parts of peninsular India, plains of Uttar Pradesh and Bihar. The average yearly precipitation in these areas remains 70 to 100 centimeters. In the northern plains, they are planked with parkland landscapes. The major trees are tendu, kher, amaltas, palas, bale, axlewood, etc. The another type of vegetation is the tropical thorn forest. These are found in Punjab, Gujarat, Rajasthan, Haryana, Madhya Pradesh, and Uttar Pradesh. The annual average precipitation of these areas always remains less than 50 centimeters. The major trees of these regions are babool, neem, khair, kejri, palas, date palms. The Tasoki grass also grows in these regions as undergrowth. The next type of vegetation is montane forest. These forests are found in Himalayan states like Jammu and Kashmir, Himachal Pradesh, Uttarakhand, Sikkim. From 1000 to 2000 meters height, it is wet temperate type of forest. From 1500 to 1750 meters, it is coniferous type of vegetation. 2250 to 3048 meters, it is the belt of taiga type. 3000 and above meters, it is mainly tundra type of vegetation. The major trees that are found in these areas are chestnut, pine, spruce, fir, walnut, juniper, birch, moses, lichens, etc. Last are the littoral or the swamp forests. Total areas of these wetlands is 39 million hectares in India. They are found in reservoirs of Deccan Plateau, in vast saline expanses of Rajasthan, Gujarat, and Rann of Kutch, near freshwater lakes, marshes of Ganga Brahmaputra, near lakes and rivers of Kashmir and Ladakh, and in mangroves of island states of India. The major trees which is found in these forests are the mangrove trees, which is a unique type of tree which only grows in the areas which are having heavy rainfall. Now let's talk about the forest cover in India. The forest cover in India, as shown in this pie diagram, is 77.72%, which is without any forest, that is non-forested area. Then moderately dense forests are 9.71%, open forests are 8.77%, the very dense forests are 2.54%, and scrubs are 1.26%. In this another pie diagram, once again, it is shown that what is the DNH forest cover percentage in our country. In this table and the pie diagram, adjoining pie diagram, it is shown that how much area in a square kilometer is there under the forest. There is one more bar diagram which is visible to you and showing the different states status on forest cover in India. The forest cover as percentage of state area as shown in the first bar diagram, and the forest cover as percentage of India's total forested area is shown in the other bar diagram. Now let's talk about the forest conservation. What is the meaning of conservation? We all know very well conservation means to protect the forest in such a way that they should be available to the future generations. This is not only preserving or conserving the forest, this is also a proper management of the forest so that they can not only fulfill our requirements but also available to the next generations. In this, there are two thoughts that have been adopted, or we can also say two methods that have been adopted to conserve the forest. are social forestry and farm forestry. Social forestry, whereas means management and protection of forest, afforestation on barren lands with the purpose of helping in the environmental, social, and rural development. On the other hand, farm forestry means the term applied to the process under which farmers grow trees for commercial and non commercial purposes on their lands. Now we have reached on the wildlife in India. We know very well that our country is quite rich in both flora and fauna. In India, there are number of species of animals found. One side we have tigers in India. On the other hand, we also are able to protect lion successfully, which shows that in India the wildlife protection had always been a major motive of our governments. Here in this present slide, you can see that there are various projects that have been adopted by our government to not only conserve wildlife but also to preserve as well as to increase the strength of wildlife in the country, like Wildlife Trust of India, National Tiger Conservation Authority, Project Rhino, Indian Wildlife Conservation Trust, etc. Now let's see the legal aspects of wildlife conservation and how they have been adopted and enacted by the Indian government time and again in our country. Like here in the slide, it is shown to you that since 1927, the government of India had always been taking care of the making of various laws which used to protect the wildlife in our country. In the first part of the slide, the Forest Conservation Act 1980 has been explained to you properly, in which it is told that Forest Conservation Act 1980, an act of the Parliament of India to provide for the conservation of forests and for matters connected therewith or ancillary or incidental thereto. It was further amended in 1988, and since then the government of India is taking care of this very nicely and properly. In this pie diagram, those aspects are very properly shown to you, which actually spoil and ruin the wildlife of our country. Like it is shown that 53% the habitat loss and fragmentation has taken place in our country because of expansion of urbanization in our country. The human population explosion, 29%, has spoiled the wildlife in our country. Hunting and teasing is equally a large aspect due to which there is a loss of wildlife conservation in our country. Then farmland encroachment means the agricultural land also has spoiled the wildlife, and then developmental activities also contribute in the finishing of wildlife in the country. Let's take a look of the list of wildlife sanctuaries and the national parks in our country, simultaneously the biosphere reserves of our country. You can see that there are 18 biosphere reserves, certain which were made during 1970s, and further there are newly added ones are also there in the country. Like this, we come to an end of this presentation. Thanks for watching, children.